she is on the phone with 911 right now.
I'm rude and he's just threatening me.
Yesterday I stitched that video saying it is particularly egregious when a person of color does that to a black man because we should know better. And furthermore, I hoped that the police either didn't show up or if they did, that they charged her with falsely reporting a crime. Because in the state of New York, ever since the infamous Central Park dog walker situation, that has become recognized as a hate crime. And not surprisingly, the video was removed for a CGV. Even though I had appealed it successfully twice during the day, it was permanently removed this morning, and again, I'm not surprised on this platform. But there were a couple more things that I wanted to say about it. First, people in the comments were asking if the caller is Asian and the person she's calling about is black, then why am I saying that that has to do with white supremacy? Isn't that just an Asian woman being racist towards a black person? Yes, it is an Asian woman being racist towards a black person. However, the reason why I say that she is aligning herself with white supremacy is because she chose to weaponize a systemically racist system, policing, against a black person. And if our policing system wasn't systemically racist, then she wouldn't have placed that call, because only in a systemically racist system would anybody think to call 911 because a black person called them rude. So that's why it's aligning herself with white supremacy. Second, some commenters took issue with the fact that I referred to the caller as a woman of color because they feel that Asian people are white. Asian people are not white. I have always openly acknowledged the white adjacency that some Asian Americans receive in white supremacy culture because Asian Americans are used as a wedge to oppress the black community. And a lot of my work involves urging Asian Americans to not align with whiteness and white supremacy culture because doing so ultimately hurts black, brown, indigenous, and people of color. But we experience racial discrimination and systemic racism. This is particularly true for Asian American men. And if that were not the case, we would not be scapegoated for illness and economic crisis and loss of opportunity for white people. But I do understand that our experience is different from other people's experience, which is why on my page I always ask people to distinguish between black, indigenous, and people of color.
Black Go back to your country. We don't welcome black people. Black people should go. You look so ugly with your dark skin color. Go back to your country.
It was a song for me. Like, she did a whole little ditty behind. I'm not sure if she was... Well, don't racism become exhausting? Like, it's so old school, not even vintage. It's kind of whack. No, it's a...
So yeah,
This is one of the reasons why black people have been complaining about Asians for the longest period, racially profiling us black people and thinking that we are inferior to them. The video you just watched has gotten me very emotional. This is not the first time I've seen videos like this. This is not the second time I've seen videos like this. The recent boycott of Asian businesses all stems for instances like this. They just don't happen. And to think that these are elderly people, people that should understand, people that have lived the longest, have the longest of experiences, that are acting this way is so terrible. For the next couple of minutes, the videos you're going to watch is going to expose exactly why black people are complaining, because what you just watched is just the tip of the iceberg. If you love content like this, if you can relate to content like this, please do well to subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, because in this channel we expose everything and we promote black culture. Without further ado, let's get into it.
extremely whack. Like, if you cannot even give me the chance to get to know me for 5 minutes, in which I could give you a laundry list of reasons not to like me, please do not shortchange me because I'm a whatever that was. Like, come on. And then it's crazy because when we feel a way about it, or we don't know how to feel, we don't know if we're in a safe space with anybody, because the switch can flip at any given time. Like, and we could be cool till we not, you know, any given moment we could be like, it's insane. Somebody being told that they're ugly because of their skin color, like, it's so old. At what point do we not keep doing the hamster wheel thing in racism? At what point do we not just be like, you know, we're all different and coexist? At what point does being a racist not become exhausting? Because if I don't like somebody, I ain't thinking about you. So the fact that people would have to think about somebody to the magnitude that you have to think about them to create a harmony in public, that's insane. And then even if I take it a step further, to think that we have to care about your opinion. You could be racist, we don't have to care. So I guess it's just comedy at this point, because it's very old, it's very tired. That's it.
We're watching democracy fall in real time. Fighting for your freedom is brutal, it's exhausting, and freedom has never been won from the comfort of a couch. I hope that besides getting on your platform and yelling that we're not coming outside, that you're doing other things to help, like boycotting, mutual aid, grassroots organizing, and you're using your platform to encourage others to do the same thing. But make sure you're doing something and stop acting like your apathy is activism. We are not our ancestors. I used to hate that saying because it's disrespectful, but now I get it, because our ancestors were brave. They were built different. And some of y'all are built like your ancestors, because a lot of y'all had cowards for ancestors, and it shows.
The 92%, they did their job. You get tired of being everybody's workhorse. And she can talk like this because I rarely see Asian Americans protesting and doing a lot of the stuff she does. And when things go wrong, she can still hide in her privilege, her non-Black privilege. Black women, Democrat or Republican, they're living their lives. If you have the time to do the work, that's in and of itself a form of privilege.
Wait, not you trying to school Black women on how freedom is won, right? Like, they wrote the book. They wrote the damn book on how freedom is won historically. It's ironic your name is Harmony, because this has got to be the most tone-deaf take I've ever seen. I mean, there's no couch sitting going on. Like, all across the U.S. right now, Black women are already mobilizing. All of the women that I know, they're already doing the damn thing in their neighborhoods and their communities. They are active. They are doing it. For you to assume that they're not just shows me that you really don't know them. Like, it's in their DNA. That's what they do. They're just not willing to sacrifice their lives to do it. And I don't blame them. I don't want them to. Because frankly, this fight, this challenge that we're seeing right now, we have to do it. White people need to step up. We have to step up. The change has to come from us, not them. I don't want them there. Because they're right. It'd be a bloodbath. This is our fight. They're doing what they do. They're doing what they've always done. And I don't think it's too late to say you're sorry.
Actually, I think Harmony is one person that I really like her content as a person. Like, every time I, search for content or do some research, I see the way she talks passionately about Black people and how she kind of supports them. So one would think that, oh, she's actually an ally, right? So I think that's why she gathered a lot of, subscribers from, Black folks. So I'm so surprised to come on, online on TikTok and found that people were calling her out, and Black Americans were actually the ones calling her out. And I was just so shocked, like, not Harmony, you guys, not Harmony. Like, I had to really take my time to watch that video. And I was so shocked to hear her say something that she said, even though she didn't literally say, Black people are, Black women are cowards or something. But she said some of them have cowards as ancestors, and that was really a very bad word at the end of the day. Well, I'm just going to let some of the clips I gather for you guys to roll, then I'll come back with more commentaries. But I would love to hear what you all have to say about it, right? Because when I saw that video, I saw different comments. In fact, I feel maybe she lost some even subscribers because
Feel so.
Okay. I don't know how she called the police before I was done, but that's fine.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, so I've never seen that in my life. Officers basically just kind of asking her, like, why did you allow her to come in, wait how many hours, you started her nails, and then you want to kick her out?
Because we don't want to appear as racist.
Well, just because you call the police on somebody doesn't mean you're racist.
Just because I'm Asian, I did not say anything about her race or her color or anything like that.
Did I say anything about racism, though? Why are you mentioning racism? I actually have all this recorded.
Yeah, you can post it.
I will.
Yeah, post it.
Let's go.
If you can leave before me, that will be great.
Okay.
Leave.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I mean, it's unfortunate, sometimes it's just like every business. Sometimes you don't get the good customer service, And obviously, yeah, it's an inconvenience for you because you got to catch a flight.
Do you? I mean, I don't even want. I know I have a credit, but it's like I don't even want to come back here because it's like,
Yeah, I mean,
after getting treated like this, somebody calls the police on you. It's like, wow.
Well, I mean, just because the police doesn't mean that you're going to jail or anything.
I know. That's why I'm just like, but it's like I've never been treated that.
This Chinese couple thought that this guy right here could not understand a word that they were saying. And he in fact understood everything that they were saying. And he most definitely confronted and checked them about the things that they were saying about him right next to him. Look at this.
This guy is trying to kill my mood, you know. He's just trying to kill my vibe. I don't like racist people at all, you know. I don't like people who are being racist. He's just trying to deny that he wasn't trying to be racist just now, but I could hear him really clearly that he was trying to be racist to me. I know.
So if y'all wasn't reading the text, I'm gonna sum it up for you. This couple right here, it wasn't even a woman at all. But this guy, whenever he walks up next to this dude, what he said was, this dude right here is too black. And the guy that understood him was like, yo, like, that's not nice to say. You shouldn't have said that. Then he was saying he didn't mean it like that and then tried to say it again. Like, bro, you meant it like that. Word of advice to everybody that's watching this, be nice to people. Like, come on now. You never know who understands you. What if he would have got mad? Then what? Exactly. Just spread love, be nice, or just don't say anything if you don't have anything nice to say. So I look at it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. What would y'all have done in this situation? Let me know in the comments below. Like and follow for more.
Cyrus Cormac Belton, a 14-year-old, was shot to death by South Carolina gas station owner Rick Chow. Asian Americans have a problem. Now, this is a topic that I'm personally a bit uncomfortable even talking about because it is a really complicated subject that deserves to be discussed with all of the nuance that comes with it, and a lot of people just are not willing to do that. Now, this case really reminds me of the 1991 killing of Latasha Harlins by Korean grocery owner Sun Ja-do, who ended up not going to jail. She just had to do probation and pay a fine. Now, the easy way out would be to say, what does race got to do with this? Sure, the gas station owner might have been Asian and the victim might have been black, but it was an issue between store owner and store customer or perceived theft. And I think a lot of my fellow Asian Americans view this issue as something more to do between merchants and their customers or community around them. But there is definitely a racialized element at play here that a lot of people simply just don't know enough history to recognize. The reason why there are so many Asian businesses in predominantly black neighborhoods, think your convenience stores, think grocery stores, beauty stores, nail shops, hair stores, a lot of these are operating by Asian immigrants. The Asian immigrants of the 1970s and 80s are different than the ones today. A lot of them came over because of immigration laws. They had limitations on how they could use their education or their skills and background in America. So many of them ended up becoming small business owners due to these discriminations. And because of redlining and other structural disadvantages that many Black Americans face, these predominantly Black neighborhoods, oftentimes in highly urban areas, were cheaper to buy a property to start a business for these new immigrants. Similarly, Rick Chow, who I believe is Chinese descent from his last name, he was found not guilty for the shooting of Cyrus Cormac Belton. They argued that because Cormac Belton was armed, even though he didn't bring up his arms, he was running away, he was shot in the back, they found him, Rick Chow, not guilty of murder. A lot of these Asian immigrants who come in to open up shop, they are not aware of the nuances of racial tensions in America. They might, like, broadly people know, okay, America has issues between white people and black people, and slavery happened, but that's pretty much it. They don't really necessarily understand some different cultural things, like Asians tend to follow people around in their stores to kind of look at what they're touching, look at what they're interested in. They don't understand that has a very racialized angle in America. They don't necessarily realize or recognize that the people who they perceive as potential thieves tends to have a very racialized stereotype behind it. They'll disproportionately target black people over other people in their stores. You just look at all of these issues coming out of H-Marts in NYC, where the security guards will often accuse black teenagers of shoplifting, but even if they're with their white or Asian friends, they don't get targeted the same as the black person. Asians, like any group in America, have this anti-black issue. A lot of it comes from these different stereotypes that get exported back to Asia with the US military, with popular media, just the normalization of racist ideas in America is so strong and so prevalent that of course it impacts people who are even just immigrants who just came here. They have an idea of these racial hierarchies in America. And a lot of times one of the issues with these Asian stores, small owners, and the local community is that they don't hire black people. A lot of times they will only hire Asians or their own family. And some of this can be cutting cost measures. I know there are some Asians who will hire people who are not documented immigrants because they know they can exploit their labor, which is not the same for an American-born black person. And I'm not discrediting the fact that there are aggressive people in poor urban areas. Because of poverty, people are going to turn to crime. And I'm not going to discredit that there's a strong undercurrent of xenophobia in America that also impacts black Americans who will go forward and put these racist stereotypes and caricatures of Asians onto their local business owners. But that doesn't justify us Asians hitting back with violence, because we won't face the same consequences. In this kind of white supremacist dynamic of the court system, if an Asian commits a crime against a white person, we will be held accountable as a person of color. But if an Asian commits a crime against a black person or another darker skinned person of color, we will be treated as the better minority. I think my screen is inverted, but one of the things that I read a while ago that really informed me was Kye-Young Park's Use and Abuse of Race and Culture, Black Korean Tension in America. And this was written in 1996, so very much informed by the recent LA riots and the different ways that the white media painted the conflict not as this sort of black response to white brutality in police, but rather as this Korean black conflict, and really sensationalized it. I think Asian Americans need to do a lot of work to unpack racism and understand really how that intersects with economic stuff, with immigration, with all of these different issues that we tend to look at only as in a bubble of only looking at Asian American issues, but not considering how they intersect with other racial groups' issues in America. Anyway, I'm not really sure if the point of my video came across, but I wanted to express that I'm very, very sorry for Cyrus's family. I'm really disappointed in the way that Asians continually use their proximity to whiteness and power and economic privilege against other people of color, even unknowingly. And I guess this is also just a call to my fellow Asian Americans to do some of that mental work unpacking, learn the history of Asians in America, and understand why it is not going to be beneficial to side with white supremacy. I've seen numerous black creators on here standing up for Asian Americans facing discrimination, and that's amazing and wonderful, and I truly wish our community reciprocated the same amount.
I realized I forgot to mention also, if you are Asian and you're not comfortable operating a business in a predominantly black neighborhood because you are afraid for your life or your business, move somewhere else. I'm from around the Baltimore area. There's very few Korean businesses left in the historic Koreatown. They all moved out to Howard County. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't need to stay there. I know, like, it's hard to pack up and move, but it's better than staying there and endangering the lives of your community.
The business owner, like the Asian business owners, Chinese, Korean, I never know like which is which when I'm looking at them or talking to them, but they are in an uproar right now. They are so upset because it is said that their businesses are getting boycotted, that their parking lots are empty. based off of a not guilty verdict that's recently happened prior to this weekend. And there's a lot of people upset, and people are really upset at the Asian community. I have never ever seen an Asian go off before until today. I have never seen a Korea or a Chinese person go off and just go in so hard until I seen it today on TikTok. These people are pissed. Allegedly, one Asian came back and said that we actually need them, that we can't make it without their businesses. They said everything that we buy is made in China, made in Korea, and so on and so on. The guy basically said that we cannot make it without their products. But yet, I don't think that he completely lied. If you go into our stores, 90% of what's on those shelves in the store, made in China. The next time you go to Walmart, Target, or any of those stores, pick up one of those coffee cups, look at the bottom of it, made in China. Your spoons, knife, and fork set, turn it over and look at it, made in China. The next time you go buy a blanket or something, look at the tag on the blanket, made in China. So they are talking, bro, and these people are pissed because they feel like the boycott is really affecting their businesses. And if it's true, and some of the videos I've seen on TikTok today is true, and they're not made up AI videos, it looks like that boycott is taking effect extremely fast. One lady pulled up to 3 of the nail salons, and every last one of them was empty, man. Now, I don't know if those nail salons open on Sunday. She could have been capping and pulled up on a day that they were closed, but it seems to me like those nail salons are open 7 days a week, man. But them Asians is starting to try to clap back, bro. Y'all better be careful. I ain't never seen an Asian go off like I seen today. It's getting crazy out here, y'all.
Who's uncomfortable, sir? We're fine with them being here. Are you uncomfortable with them being here? They're literally just sitting on the bench doing nothing. That makes no sense to me. They don't want you sitting around, but they don't have a basketball court open for you to do anything. Make that make sense.
Local authorities are facing intense scrutiny after a viral video emerged showing law enforcement ordering a group of Black teenagers to leave a public park simply because other patrons felt uncomfortable. The incident, captured by an independent bystander, has ignited a fierce debate over racial profiling and the policing of public spaces. The recorded footage shows a police officer approaching a group of Black youths who were sitting and talking in the park. In the video, the officer can be heard telling the teens that they need to exit the area. When the teenagers asked for a reason, the officer stated that other park visitors reported feeling uncomfortable by their presence. A bystander filming the interaction immediately intervened, challenging the officer's orders.
So yeah, the next time someone asks you why, show them this. Asian man and his wife. Asian man is on the phone with the police. He lies to the police and says that these Black people in this car are threatening him with a gun.
They are threatening us. Yeah? So I think they have a gun.
Did you take note of how thick his accent was? Fresh off the fucking boat, can barely speak a lick of fucking English. And yet he's clearly so ingrained with white supremacist ideology that his first thought is to tell the police that this car full of Black people are threatening him with a gun. Thank God some police showed up that had a drop of fucking sense.
Maybe you should bring your wife out. I'm asking you! Who called? I called. So who said there's a gun here? Who said there's a gun here? Did you say yes? Okay, this is a landlord tenant act. It's nothing to do with the police. Who said there's a gun here? Look how many cars are here. I told them.
He literally made the call stating that they are threatening him with a gun. The police see the bullshit in this whole situation. Now he's I don't know. So I don't give a fuck who feels like what about this blackout. Not another fucking dime.
So, I'm not going to kowtow to the Black community. Okay? I don't hate the Black community. In fact, I love the Black community. I have mad respect for the Black community. Okay? The Black ancestors have done so much for minorities that I have mad respect. I won't kowtow to the Black community. Okay? I see so many Asian people, particularly liberal Asian people, Democrat Asian people, that they are coming on here and saying, oh, you know what, there's so many racist Asian people. You know, Asian people are so terrible, right? Black people are suffering, really. They're not suffering. I'm sorry. Right? They're not. They're suffering from their own victimhood. So many Asian people are saying, like, oh, you know what, all this, they're putting down Asian people and trying to kowtow to black people, trying to butter up to black people. You are disgusting people, right?
Butter
they're
up to
trying
black
to butter up
people?
to people, to the black community because of the whole Rick Chow situation with one black boy, one little
One
black
black
boy. And
boy.
here's the thing.
See how he...
If you look at it statistically, right, the sheer amount of violence by black people. Because here's the thing, right? If you look at crime statistics, right, black on Asian crime versus Asian on black crimes, you would see the disparity.
Shut up. I couldn't even listen to the rest of that. First of all, he kept saying kowtow. That just irritated my soul. I don't know why. But basically, he's trying to say, like, bow down to the black community. Asian people who do that are sellouts, and they're disgusting and deplorable people, and black people are their own, they create their own victimhood. And it's like, nobody's asking y'all to bow down or kowtow or whatever the fuck ching chong you talking about. I don't know. We are literally reacting to constant anti-blackness and discrimination and racial profiling. And for you to make it a point to say, oh, that one young black boy, that is not the only instance in which we have been assaulted, accosted, and even unalived by the Asian community. Now, am I saying that Asian people are out here just unaliving black people by the droves? No. I am saying that Asian people have been known and prone to being anti-black. And this is where y'all get it twisted and get the game fucked up at. Y'all come into our neighborhoods and in our communities. So people will be crying and screaming and trying to jump on a white supremacist rhetoric about having black fatigue, which y'all stole and colonized from a black woman. The irony, nothing original, not an original bone and not near one of y'all's bodies. Anyways, another story for another day. Y'all come into our spaces. Now, I could see if black people were going into Chinatown, wreaking havoc, causing an uproar, being destructive, and then y'all having an adverse reaction to that. But we don't go into you all spaces. You all come into our spaces, then try to police how we act and treat us less than human. And the fact that all of this is happening on the back end of a young black boy, a teenager, being unalived, unjustly, unprovoked, for absolutely no real valid reason, for you all to have this type of reaction to us reacting is disgusting. It's giving demonry. It really is. How could you be human if you cannot empathize with that situation, and instead of being understanding, you try to demonize a group of people that, what other ways do we have to really enact change or to get our point across? Boycotting, blackouts, that is cultural to black Americans. Y'all don't even get that. Y'all keep saying, oh, it's a cultural practice, it's tradition. Boycotting is how we've been able to get a lot of things done. You said it yourself. Oh, y'all have done a lot for minorities. Y'all have helped people of color, which I hate that term because y'all are not colored. You guys are like, anyways. But because of how we've boycotted and how we've done things, you all are able to walk around here freely. So to have no grace and to get up here and make it seem like we're asking you to do anything other than to treat us like human and to leave us the fuck alone. Bitch, we don't come into your spaces. We're not over in China or Korea or Vietnam going into y'all's neighborhood, setting up shop, and then following y'all around the store, cussing y'all out, giving y'all subpar and poor service, price gouging, beating y'all's ass, locking y'all's in stores. We're not doing that. You all come into our spaces. If Johnny had 5 apples, y'all come into our spaces. This is a country that we are from. Y'all migrate here. Y'all come here. We don't go to where you're from and demand that you do anything. We don't do that. This is irritating. What y'all think about this? We asking for the Asian community to bow down? No, we want to. First of all, I don't understand why is everybody so upset that we're saying people want to shop black owned. That doesn't mean that they're not going to shop in any immigrant establishments, but we are primarily working on focusing on ourselves. All y'all do is talk down on black Americans and say how we ain't shit, we don't got shit, we don't own shit, we don't circulate our money. We're working on that, and you guys are literally throwing yourselves off of a fucking cliff at the idea of us doing what you all have been doing, which is practicing group economics and putting yourself first and circulating your dollar amongst yourself first. What's the issue? What y'all think about this? I don't know if in the comments. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
So for the longest period of time, I've been saying this again and again. Sometimes I feel like Asians feel they are ahead or superior to black people. I honestly feel that way. Because tell me why you see somebody, you just assume they're going to harm you, and immediately you call the police. The first video said it. It's not even a young person, it's an old person. In fact, all these different age groups have been presented in this video, and the outcome is always the same. They racially profile us black people, assume the worst can happen, and then guess what? They call the police. That's just what is happening every day. Now, it's gotten to dire moments where we're seeing black kids losing their lives. The Rick Chow case, right? Now, to think that after all this has happened and black people are fuming, they're angry over all this, you still notice some bad seeds within the Asian community come online and say they don't care and they're not going to bow down to blackness, or they don't care about what the black community says and all this. It's terrible. It tells you one thing: there are still so many of them out there like that, and that is why this boycott is supposed to continue. Again, these Asian people are supposed to learn about black culture. The thing that gets very weird and gets me very upset is this: blacks are the people who fought for Asians to come in. So remember this: Asian stores, Asian shops are only found in black communities. Have you asked yourself why they aren't found in white communities? Have you asked yourself that? And it drives me crazy because they are supporting the white supremacy without realizing that these same white people will not bow down to them. These same white people will not take them on the same level. That's just the truth about it. It hurts. Black people fought for other migrants to come into this country, but yet look at how we've been treated. In fact, I'm loving everything that's happening because black businesses will keep booming. Blacks know how to support their own, and when they take rallies like this very seriously, and they take boycotts like this very seriously, the outcomes are always very evident. In my next video, I'll talk about something even way deeper, because there's just a clip that I watched, I think this morning, that has gotten me very disturbed, and it's an Asian man doing something really horrible to a black man. Again, I've always tried to say this: I know all Asians are not like this, but for you to come online and make claims that you don't care about what black people think, you don't care about the boycott, you don't care about listening to black culture and everything that has happened to people, and you still racially profile people, is concerning. It's concerning. From old age, middle age, young people, the same results every single time. Well, by the end of the day, we'll find out so far. Thank you for watching this video. If you love videos like this, please do well to share these videos, give this video a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in another one. Bye-bye.